Look at that. It's our boy Arnold again. In another really cheesy, like, 90s movie that he was just in. It's called End of Days. This movie is strange. It was released by Universal in 1999, towards the end of the 19th, no, 20th century. It's the end of the 20th century, 19th century's 1800s. Woo! But this movie is really bizarre. So basically, Arnold's like a retired cop, or on the brink of retirement. 5 days to retirement. Alcoholic, depressed. Insert paper cutout here. That's our main character. And then there's this cult. There's like this satanic cult going around with a bunch of other stuff happening, and it's close to the turn of to the new millennium. So Y2K, and oh my god, but it's not Y2K. It's the devil himself coming back. Arnold fights the devil, and boy howdy is it underwhelming. I like a lot of this movie. I feel like the Satan himself is pretty decent when he makes an appearance. Arnold's just kind of very straight. There's not a lot of exciting Arnold moments. There's not a lot of exciting Arnie things going on. I do think the action is pretty good for what it's doing, but it's definitely a movie that has fallen by the wayside. And it's not hard to see why, because it cashes in on that whole secret order, devil coming back to take over the world and bring about the end of man. And it's been done before. Independence Day came out in 1996, so people were kind of done with Satan taking over the world. Everyone was with aliens taking over the world, or national disaster movies, because disaster movies were making a comeback. And, Satan coming back, yeah, New York City's getting destroyed and everything, but this was coming out when, like, Deep Impact and Armageddon were out, so you already got, like, life-threatening things like an asteroid hitting the planet, and you don't really need something like this. So, the whole Satan stuff kind of fell by the wayside in the late 90s in favor of the disaster movie, which I do believe was rediscovered through Independence Day, which is fantastic. There is a review coming for that one. Do not worry. But this itself is pretty decent. It's got an okay case. I mean, it's not my best case. It's not my favorite case. Mainly because of this, like, special edition logo. Which, by the way, this is a special edition. I bet you didn't know they made special edition VHS tapes. Or maybe you did. But this has bonus features on it. Yeah. You just wait till the end of the tape and they throw a music video at you and how they did the train sequence. Which, by the way, the train sequence is one of my favorite parts. They blow up a model of a train and it looks really good. I can't remember who the effects artist was, but it's pretty spectacular and pretty well integrated into the film. Overall, this movie's like, it's okay. I mean, it's like your murder mystery sort of thing, but then you get the cult stuff thrown in there, and it's just kind of, oh, I know where this is going. And the finale's really lackluster and really kind of disappointing. My friends really didn't like this when we watched it together. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, looking back on it and watching it a second time, it's not the best. But, in terms of Arnold movie, it's still fun in parts. Like I said, the effects are good, the action's pretty decent, the mystery's alright, the cinematography is very late 90s. If any of you guys remember that era of cinematography, it all looks like Seven now. Because Seven came out in like 95. So everyone wanted to be Seven because it was like the gritty, it's like the gritty thing, and then that Fight Club were, yeah, good old Fincher. I love David Fincher, but, he kind of pulled an Alan Moore with that, with Watchmen. But anyway, tape itself is in decent condition. Pull this off the shelf again. It's just kind of, I really don't like the way this tape looks, in all honesty. It's just, looks like, I've said this before, it just looks like garage sale slapping that logo on there because my kid peeled it off like 2 years ago. It's got a barcode on there. What if I could scan that? I probably could. It's just not going to show up. Anyway, movie's like 2 hours, something like that. I like how it says non-stop action-packed thrill ride, and I recently rewatched this movie, and I can't remember a thing about it. I just remember they do one of those cat jump scares where, like, oh, they're looking for something in the house, and oh my god, it's a cat thing. But other than that, this movie's fine. It's not the best, it's not the worst. The more I talk about it, the more I am kind of realizing that it's not that great a movie. So I was gonna give this like 6. I'm gonna bump it down to like a 4, honestly, because it's just really forgettable and bland. And the soundtrack is very like, oh god, it's that late '90s like formulaic punk rock. If any of you guys remember that, where it's just like so synthetic sounding. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video today. Sorry if it's a little off track and whatnot. There's just really not too much to say about this one. Really isn't. It's a very, very much a relic of its time, but not in the good way like Detention was. Like Detention's a perfect relic of its time. This one is not so much. Anyway, catch you guys in the next video.